Welcome to the Nutrition Mission Podcast.
This is where we're going to share information about nutrition and have insights into your own personal needs, as well as product information, as well as other information. You've got to be part of this nutrition mission.
This is the official Clark's Nutrition and Natural Foods Market podcast. And we've been helping people live better lives since 1972. We're on a nutrition mission. Join us.
All right, this is Starkie Sowers. Welcome again to another Nutrition Mission podcast. And I've got a guest with me today, Jessica Q.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Moment.
How's it going?
Yeah. So we always get to hang out. Jessica comes into the store, and she's always doing Facebook Live, Instagram Live in the store. Mm-hmm. So we talk about different types of topics. And so Jessica wanted to do something on Instagram about hydration. I go, really? I want to do one too. So we just thought we'd podcast it up and put it together. And yeah, it's getting warm right now. Today's not though.
Actually,
it rained today.
What a weird
What's
day.
up with that, right?
Yeah, it starts raining the day we want to talk about how hot it is.
It's the May gray, right?
Yeah, there you go.
And I love the June gloom and the May gray, and it's always good to like have that moment. Literally this morning I got up to work out 4:45, right? So getting all my stuff going. So I'm like, it's raining. It was raining, so it's a cool moment. Lots of hydration. All right, so we're going to talk about hydration, right? Mm-hmm. So there's all sorts of fun things about hydration, but I want to hear some perspectives from you.
Perspectives on hydration.
Yeah, so you talked about on Instagram and stuff like that. So what I mean, so what are you thinking about? What do you think about when you think about hydration?
Well, you know, when I was younger, I didn't really get it. I didn't get how important it was to drink water all the time. Now, when you think about it, our bodies are 60 to 70% water.
Right.
So obviously our body
water
needs,
blob.
Yeah, we're just a blob of water, right?
Right.
With some skin.
No. Yeah.
But yeah, and then eventually, you know, I really got into health and fitness, and then I started realizing that like just drinking water would make me feel full and I wouldn't be hungry or as hungry. And so, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, what can I use to suppress my appetite? Water.
Yeah. So you know what's funny is
great.
we talked about this the other day, and I thought to myself, and mind you, throughout the years, there's been research on this stuff, right? So there's a part of me that just, you know, just doesn't buy into the water thing, right? Mm-hmm. So I dig it up. Check it out. 1.5 liter a day. 3-6 months, reduce body fat and decrease appetite.
Really?
Yeah. Home run. You're on the money.
Yeah. And it was
a liter and a half. It really doesn't take that much. I see you got the big gallon over here, right?
Yeah.
So boom on the big gallon, right? But most guys try to hit the gallon and stuff like that. But a liter and a half is all you need throughout the day to actually reduce appetite and lose body fat and lose weight.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So
wait a minute. If I IV it, will it happen faster? No, I'm teasing.
No, does it?
Are you buying into that, weren't you? No, I'm just teasing.
I don't know. I mean, that's kind of a big thing now too, the IVs. So.
I know.
But I was gonna say, because I heard, and tell me if this is right or wrong, that you're supposed to drink half of your weight in ounces per day. So if you weigh 100 pounds, then you need to be drinking 50
ounces a day.
Yeah,
and
is
that's,
that right?
And that's probably pretty accurate for staying hydrated. Mm-hmm. The body, by the way, makes adjustments if you're not hydrating enough, and that actually causes the body to go into stress patterns. And a lot of times people don't know it. So when it comes to like hypertension and different stuff like that, sometimes hydration is just a simple thing to reverse some of that and get that like back to normal. You know.
Right.
So what the body does actually puts in a little panic adrenal hormones. It says hold on to that water, recycle it, bring it back, because we're not getting any in. So now here's a little caveat. When we eat foods have a lot of concentrated water in it. So that brings up my moment when I was younger. I was in my 20s. I read this book, and this guy was like all about like internal cleansing and stuff like that. So I got into this book, and he's like, don't drink water, just eat lots of fruits and vegetables. So for 1 year, I didn't drink any water.
No.
Isn't that genius?
No.
Yeah, right. So
after sound genius.
Right. So I thought, I don't want to drink water because it's a pain in the butt. It's just too much of my day. I don't want to deal with it. Right?
Yeah.
Right? So like after a year, I'm like, man, I don't feel good. Right? No. And so it was like a hot summer day. I started drinking water. I thought, I'll just drink water throughout this like month or something like that. All of a sudden, I'm like going, yeah, I feel like a lot better. No headaches, no this thing. Yeah. Don't be stupid like me, right? Yeah.
Well, you know what I admire about you is that you'll like try things. If somebody tells you, you're like, okay, well, let me see for myself. Is this true or not? And then you can go let everybody know that, no, don't do that.
Don't be an idiot, man. Come on. I mean, don't do what I did, right? So critical moment. So how much water do we need a day? Like you said, about 50 ounces, like you weigh 100 pounds.
Or like half of your body weight, right?
So let's make it simple. Okay, this is like for the watchers, listeners, let's make it simple. Little 500 milliliter water bottle, right? 4 a day, boom, you're done. Okay,
For those,
simple fact, like probably 6 to 8 glasses of water a day. Okay, and this is a normal, little bit 12-ounce size. You're up and running. So if you do 6 12 ounces, that's 40 ounces. You're almost there if you're 100 pounds. If you're doing 8, obviously you're getting a little bit more, 96 or something like that.
Right.
So yeah. So I try.
But nobody here is 100 pounds.
Right.
Or are you 100 pounds?
Oh God, no.
Me neither.
Like 165 pounds, right?
Okay.
All right, so let's talk about a couple other facts. So obviously we have to have it. Then you started asking me questions about water. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Water's like crazy, right? I mean, you go into the store and there's all these different types of waters
So
that are available.
many.
There's everything, right?
Yeah.
And so, here you've got like a gallon of water. This is Ramona water. I love that water. We've got Fiji, which is supposed to be one of the most pristine waters in the world. And so then this is like a cool one, which is core, which is the pH, right? So let's talk about pH, okay?
That's alkaline?
Alkalized water, right?
Yeah.
So what happened years ago is somebody gets on the television and said, hey, look, if you're alkaline, then you'll never get cancer. Okay, so here's the deal. Believe it or not, you want to be acid in some areas in your body. So your mouth needs to be acid. It needs to be about 6.4 to 6.8 because if it's not, then you'll end up with thrush and bacteria throughout your whole digestive system.
Ooh.
Okay? So over-alkalinity is not great. Where you want to be alkalized is in the bloodstream.
Okay.
And so a way to do that is like drink water that's high alkalinity, but it's got calcium, magnesium, minerals, and stuff like that.
Okay.
Because the minerals is what actually preserves the balance of pH in the blood.
Okay.
Right? All right, so that's kind of where that whole thing came about, and everybody kind of got into it, did the pH. A lot of people are still doing it, things of that nature. But ultimately, when I look at pure water, the pH is 7. It's right perfect because you go from 0 to 14 on the scale, and 7's the middle spot.
7 is...
Yeah, most water is like right in that moment.
And isn't alkaline water like the newest
Yeah.
of the waters?
Yeah.
I don't know how to
It
say
is.
that.
It is.
'cause it's
That's
like,
a great way to say it.
it.
And so the way they make it, though, is they typically do a reverse osmosis. So reverse osmosis basically means they shove it through this filter, okay, which takes energy, by the way. So they shove it through this filter and they take out all the minerals. It's 100% nothing but just water. Okay, but the minerals obviously are critical, especially depending on when you get it. For instance, like if you look at this is Crystal Geyser, and it comes from the Olancha Mountains on the 395 up by Mammoth. It's like the most pristine place in the world, right?
Nice.
And so when you look at it, the pH on this is like 7.4 or 7.5 or something like that. So what they do with that or whatever
Oh wait,
water,
this has pH too.
it has a slight pH of being a little bit on the alkaline side.
Wow.
Yeah,
And now this is just this water, the Crystal
it's
Geyser.
just well water. With
Well water.
It's spring water, really.
So the alkaline water is just a
They
couple.
make it. They do it in a lab. So what they basically do is they reverse osmosis. They have a machine, pushes it through it, cleans the water of any type of component. Cool part is like if you're doing Aquafina and you're like the Pepsi company, right? And you're up in Riverside in Sycamore Park and you're sucking it out of the well water up there. That's some ugly stuff up there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you RO it, you clean it up, and then they put minerals and conditioners back into it. And they go, hey, it's high pH. But you're making water. It's different. Don't get me wrong. It might have some people benefit from it. Some people like it. Some people don't. There's other ways of doing pH and stuff like that. But the bottom line is you have to make it that way. Normal water is not typically made with extra added minerals in it. Don't get me wrong. There's minerals in here.
Yeah.
And that's the taste that you'll get. A lot of times you'll taste wine. I don't like that taste at all. And sometimes it's for various reasons, but if it's nice, clean water, it could be just.
Can I mention a water that I don't like the taste?
Yeah.
I want to see if you think
Yeah,
the
yeah,
same
yeah.
thing. Arrowhead water.
It's got to be cold. If it's
Yeah.
not cold, I don't want it.
No, Arrowhead. Yeah, I can't even do it cold. But there's a taste.
Yeah. And that taste specifically is the mountain areas that they're getting it.
Oh.
So it's spring and well water that they're getting it out of, and so that's what it is, right?
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So kind of cool moment. We got an idea. So ironically speaking, we're going to talk about a couple other components. So water, what does water do? Think about it. It's part of your body.
I want to say it like it cleanses your
Cleanses
body.
your
right?
body
It,
out.
Like because you drink the water and it pulls the toxins, right? And then
Pulls toxins out. It flushes away toxins.
Flushes, yeah.
It's the great diluter inside the body. It basically also helps to facilitate nutrients into the cells. Think about it. 1/3 of the body's water is in the vascular system. Okay? 1/3 of the body's water is in between the cells and in the lymphatic system. Okay? And that's the garbage disposal area. Okay? Then 1/3 of the body's water is inside the cells.
Oh wow. Okay.
Right. Okay. So water is constantly moving throughout the whole body, and it's literally doing those things where it's like detoxifying and filtering and moving and taking nutrients around and doing everything that it needs to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
How many days without water can you go?
Isn't it like 2 days or
It's
something?
like 2 or 3.
2 or 3 days,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So check it out. One of my buddies used to be like special forces, right? So they kick him out of an airplane, right? And then he basically parachute down in the middle of the desert. And then by himself, or maybe with 1 or 2 other buddies, he had a mission. You know, I won't give you the details on the mission. So what he had to do is he basically had a cup and a baggie. And he had no other food or water sources whatsoever. And his missions were typically 7 days long.
Oh my goodness.
Right, serious business, right? So what he would do is basically find any foliage along the way during the day and or at night and put all the foliage into those like little pockets and things of that nature. Then at night, what he would do is he'd take the baggie and had holes in it, stuff all the foliage into it, dig a hole, put it on top of the bowl, and then bury it. And in the morning, he had a couple of cups of water. All the foliage would dehydrate and it was ready to go.
Oh, wow.
So then he ate all sorts of bugs and rattlesnakes and stuff like that, and I just kept him rolling.
Gross.
Yeah, cool moment, right?
I don't want to eat
thought you'd enjoy that story. So lots of appreciation for water. You look at 2/3 of the water, and 2/3 of the world is water. You know, it's oceans and lakes and things of that nature.
Water is a big part of life.
Yeah. So 70% of the world is water. 70% of us is water. Cool analogy, right?
Yeah, I never thought about that.
So now water has to move, right? So what happens is it moves on what we call osmosis and gradients. And so those osmosis and gradients basically means those minerals are the things that move water around. Okay, so inside the cells is where potassium stays.
Okay.
Outside the cells is where sodium stays. And as we know, sodium and potassium are electrolytes. And they're what help move water around the body.
Yes.
And so that's the reason why, boom, sports drinks come up. Because what happens when you're in a situation where outside you're sweating and moving and everything like that? What happens? You lose water and you lose electrolytes.
Can I tell you something
Yeah.
it's kind of gross, but like I want you to explain.
It's a
this
body
to me.
world, right?
Yeah. So when I work out, I sweat a lot.
Yeah,
like
good.
a lot. And I've noticed that sometimes on my headphones,
Yeah.
that I'll have like almost like salt.
That's it. That's right.
Like salt
Yeah,
on my headphones,
absolutely.
like the next day after it dries, the
That's
sweat
right.
dries.
That's exactly what it is.
So that's just the sodium coming
That's
out
the
of
sodium coming out and the potassium and the
sweat?
electrolytes coming out.
Wow.
And which is a great sign that you need to put more back in. Obviously, one of the
Okay.
best ways to get it in is fruits and vegetables, because that's ultimately, so like up here we've got lemons and limes and stuff like that. So one great way to hydrate and put electrolytes into your system is like do lemon juice as you're like working out. Some people don't like it, or you could do it post-workout and stuff like that.
Okay.
So we'll talk a little bit about electrolytes
Probably more
more.
like it'd probably be really good to do post, right? Because especially if you already
If
lost
you're,
all
doing if you're doing lemon juice before, it's better to be really diluted because you might get a little stomachache with it.
that. Right. Yeah.
Right. All right. So by the way, just more than once I've come home from playing basketball during the summer. My wife will go, "Oh my God, you need to take a shower." Like, what's up with that? She goes, "You got salt all over your forehead."
Salt. See.
So I just pull the salt off and go, "Okay, we got stuff for dinner."
Oh no.
Doesn't happen that easy, right? All right. So a lot of times what you'll see is you'll have hydration mixes. What's interesting about these hydration mixes, by the way, number one, sports ergogenic aid. Ergogenic aid means something that's going to boost your ability to perform better. Number one is water.
Water.
Yeah. Dehydration, 2 to 4% dehydration in your body, and you're zonked. You're done. So if you're working out on a regular basis every half an hour outside, they say, especially if you're running or anything, activity like that, for every half an hour, you're sucking in a half a liter of water.
Okay.
Okay. My daughter just ran she actually ran a half marathon recently.
Nice.
And so I told her, she goes, "Do you have any advice for me?" I go, "No, I've never ran a half marathon. I don't want to run a half marathon unless I'm being chased." Okay. So, but on top of that, what I do know from everything I've read is every water stop along the way, just go ahead and hydrate your way and stop. Don't run. Just stop and just walk through that. And she did that, and she came through and she said, "You know what? Completely stayed hydrated." I was like, yeah.
Nice.
So yeah.
Good for her.
Every half an hour or so, you would definitely want to keep it
How was her
rolling.
time?
She just right around 2 hours. So, she's
Okay,
in the
that's
1/3
good.
of the pack,
Yeah, good for
Yeah.
her. That's
So,
awesome.
yeah, no, it was really good for her. I was real proud of her. But one of the things that we did too is we were hydrating her with electrolytes before the event. All right. So I brought some in.
Okay.
So, and you were talking about some the other day.
Yeah.
All right. So,
And I briefly discussed them. So you're talking about these like little
yeah,
packs.
the little packs and stuff
So-
like that. So let's do the simple one first. Okay. So if you're going to do, a bottle of water, pour some out, take a lemon, squeeze the juice in it, take a pinch of salt, drop it in. Boom. Sodium, potassium, chloride. You might be missing some of the other electrolytes. Okay. Sodium, potassium, and chloride are the ones that keep the water in balance. Calcium and magnesium are other electrolytes that control the muscle contraction. Muscle contraction. So cramps, spasms, things of that nature, they work with those other electrolytes, the sodium, potassium, and the chloride, and they're the ones that stop and help to prevent you from getting cramps. So what you'll find in these other external ones, or the other components that you can use into the water, they're going to have maybe other electrolytes with it. But let's roll this one first. This is called Recharge, right?
Recharge.
All right. So you read this and you go down there and they basically done some filtered water. Okay. They've done grape juice. That's where they're going to get the sugars. Remember this, that the sugars carry waters into the system with them. So that's why a little sugar is actually good.
It helps.
Yes, absolutely good. It has lemon juice. It also has lemon juice concentrate and sea salt. Kind of like what we just talked about, but there's also got a little bit of sugars. Ultimately, the sugar in here is like 18 grams of carbs for an 8-ounce serving. So it's really not high carb, but it's moderate. So that's like about the most natural one you can pick up, right? So I have a question for you. Caffeine. Does it hydrate or dehydrate?
Dehydrate.
No, it hydrates.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I'm confused.
Right. You should be confused because so am I.
I always thought caffeine.
It's a diuretic. It like causes you to urinate, right?
Yeah.
In the long run, using caffeine on a regular basis actually causes the cells to stay hydrated. Isn't that insane?
Mind blown.
Yeah, didn't know that one. Right. So I did this I started taking a course from the International Society of Sports Nutrition, and they love caffeine. So they're like caffeine for everything. Coffee. They love chocolate milk. And so they come up with reasons why you need it, right? And they love beer. And so they come up with reasons to have beer and stuff like that. So anyways, one of the things that's interesting about some of these things is the Recovery 180. So this is called Recovery 180. So that's a pre-prep. It's an RTD. It's ready to drink, ready to go. So they've got electrolytes in there. So what's ironic with this one too is if you read the fine print, and you got to dig into the fine print.
This one right here?
Yeah. So if you see anything in there, it might have some caffeine in it.
Well, it's kosher.
Yeah, kosher's always good.
Natural citrus flavor, refrigerate after opening. Purified water.
Yeah, there we go.
Organic cane sugar.
Yeah.
Citric acid.
Right.
Sodium citrate, which is electrolyte.
That's electrolyte, yeah.
Potassium.
Right.
Magnesium.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's got CalMag-Zinc.
Oh, wow. This has got ashwagandha. Adaptogenic herb for stress, calcium. Now you're getting all the other electrolytes. Anything else in there? Any guarana in there? Yeah, there is guarana.
So what does guarana have? I got totally into guarana one time in my life.
What does it have? So
the idea with guarana was that obviously it's a great stimulant. So we were taking it before the workout. So I thought, this stuff is so awesome. I'm going to start taking 10 tablets of this stuff. So I'm using 10 tablets of it, and all of a sudden my heart's palpitating, all these other things are happening. And they said, it's a female version of caffeine, so it's not caffeine. It's the 80s, it's one of those urban folk tales, right?
Yeah.
No, it's just packed with caffeine. So that has caffeine in it.
So this has caffeine.
Purposely.
But it doesn't say caffeine anywhere.
Yeah, it does in the fine print.
Really
Contains
fine.
caffeine.
Can I try this? I want to try it.
Of course you can. Absolutely. Nice stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. It just tastes like, it almost tastes like lemonade.
Yeah, like a light lemonade.
Not the sweetest lemonade, just like a.
Exactly.
Yeah.
With caffeine.
Good.
Okay?
Yeah, where's it?
Right.
Where's the caffeine? Oh, is it in there?
Yeah, you have to find the fine print. It'll say contains caffeine.
I'm going through it.
Yeah, like as you're just cruising through the moment there.
Yeah.
So let me have a real quick look, see if I can find that for you on here. Yeah. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. Okay, maybe it doesn't say. It's possible that it doesn't. Anyways, bottom line is, what's unique about this is it does have the guarana extract in it as well as a couple other different things.
Which is caffeine.
Yeah, caffeine, right?
Caffeine. So now we know.
Yeah.
Guarana means caffeine.
Guarana is a tree from South America, and it has like a berry. And it's basically, it is literally a get up and go substance. It works really, really well. All right, so this one, another one. Here we go. Coconut water. This is what's cool about this. This one's got all the different electrolytes in it as well. But what's interesting about this, it'll tell you electrolytes, vitamins, antioxidants. Then it has all organic. But what's unique about this is this. It's coconut water based.
These both?
And so this
Oh,
is
this
straight coconut water.
Oh, straight. Because
straight
coconut water is supposed to be really hydrating.
It's great. It's like one of the greatest things you can use for hydration.
Yeah, like straight out of the coconut, right?
Right out of the
like
coconut.
Open it up and drink it.
And the harmless
When I was in Costa
harvest
Rica,
one that
that's
we
what
have,
they were doing.
Chris, our amazing videographer, took a little sip of this, but if you want to hit a sip of it,
Yeah.
it literally that's like one of the best ones. But yeah, so you're in Costa Rica and it's everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, they were everywhere. Yes, absolutely. Like people weren't drinking water; they were actually just like
Drinking coconut water.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just loaded in potassium. It's got some other minerals and things in it. It's like a great hydration formula. Yeah. So, but this one's based on it. So Roar is actually based on that. Not only does it have the electrolytes added to it and balanced out, but also it's a coconut, instead of water based like this one, it's a coconut water base.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very nice.
All right. So let's take it a step further. Everyone's heard of Gatorade, right?
Yes.
Actually researched for years. Believe it or not.
You researched it?
No, they did. They researched in the 60s for years. And then what they had is they had the Miami Dolphins, and they were getting, a lot of the athletes were coming down having lots of cramps because it was so hot. Mm-hmm. So they literally started forming an electrolyte mix together. And Gatorade actually was one of the first ones out. And it's got sugars in it and things of that nature. The problem that everyone does with Gatorade or any type of like sports drink is they think, hey, it's a sports drink. I should like drink that every day. I'm going to school. I should drink Gatorade. Did you work out? No. And you use Gatorade. Mm-hmm. Okay, so it's something you don't want to use every day if you're not working out and you're outside and being active.
Right.
Okay, so I'd say the same caveat. Mind you, some people have a tendency to dehydrate more than others, and a little Gatorade or something like what we have up here would be a great idea, but it's not water. Mm-hmm. We still need water and food. Okay?
Right.
So a couple of fun ones. Hydration IV. What a cool, catchy name, right?
Hydration IV,
Hydration
yeah.
IV. So what you'll notice, it's got all the electrolytes in it.
No needles needed.
No needles needed. And so what's ironic with this one, what's so cool about it, is it comes, the minerals, they get it from the Great Salt Lake. Okay, so they get it from the Great Salt Lake, so every trace mineral is in that as well. Not only does it have the typical electrolytes, but it also has the trace minerals in it. Of course, the name of the company is Trace Mineral Research, right? So more of them. This one's we've got this. You love this one. Liquid IV.
Yeah, Liquid IV, yeah. And so if you guys are listening, so there are these little packs that you can like pour into your bottle of water. And they have all these different packs we've got a variety of brands.
Yeah, the Trace Mineral ones are little packs as well too.
They're packs too in there.
Yep.
But yeah, you can get these at Clark's. But yeah, they got flavors and yeah.
So watch and read carefully because sometimes they're going to have other different types of herbs and things like that in it. And sometimes they might have a little caffeine, so be heads up on all those different
Which one
things.
doesn't have sugar? I'm going to try one. I'm going to throw one in my water right now.
As if I remember, this one is 100% sugar-free.
100% sugar-free?
Yeah, so this one right here is made by Vegasport, and it's a hydrator, lemon lime, and it has no sugar.
I need hydration. I took two classes this morning of Pilates.
So you did the Pilates. Okay.
And
We're talking about working out on the next episode, by the way.
All right.
Okay?
Oh, cool.
We've got a challenge for you.
Yay.
Finally, here's the other one called Attack.
Attack.
Attack. What a cool name, right?
I like it.
So this one has a weird substance in it called betaine. Okay, so betaine, your body actually makes betaine. And what it does is it actually saturates around the cells. And what it actually does is it prevents hydration from being, two things. Number one, it helps the cells hydrate and prevents water from actually dehydrating too quickly. So very unique in its substance. Yeah, it has electrolytes and things of that nature, but it ends up having this proprietary blend of betaine.
Betaine.
Yeah, so if you're one that's outside, active all the time, and really going after it, let's say you're running like what you're doing, this, believe it or not, this actually, if you're doing a lot of gym classes and you're sweating a lot, this one might be of a great advantage.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. I've been extra committed to working out, so.
Okay.
Yeah, I might have to
Well,
try
we're going
that.
to talk about that. We're going to have another segment. We're going to talk about female weight loss.
Ooh.
And what we're going to do is we're going to talk about a brutal workout that I'll challenge you on.
Ooh, I can't wait.
All right.
Cool.
All right, cool. So that kind of wraps it up. You got any more questions? You feel like you're hydrated on hydration?
Yeah. You know what? I think that a good question, and probably a lot of people would ask this, is what is the best water to drink? Because there's so many different waters. There's mineral water. There's alkaline water. There's reverse osmosis water. Well water. What do you think is the best water for us to drink? Or I mean, or scientifically, what is proven to be the best type of water to drink?
The best type of water to drink is water.
Makes sense.
So the other thing to remember is this. A lot of times municipalities will add things to water, such as fluorides and chlorides and different things like that. So a lot of times people don't want those substances in there. So the best thing, if you can, filtered water at home would be great.
Okay.
So I have a tendency, if I'm going to drink water, believe it or not, I actually like to drink Crystal Geyser. And a lot of people will freak out on that because there's a lot of trace minerals that are in there. And so at one point, 20 years ago, they were saying, oh, it's the dirtiest water available. I go, that's exactly what I want. I want the trace minerals. I want the dirt.
Yeah.
Because don't remember that we need dirt. We have minerals throughout our whole body.
Right.
So God was nice. He gave us fruits and vegetables and foods to eat to get the dirt.
To get the dirt.
To get the dirt, and water to get the dirt.
God made dirt, and dirt don't hurt.
And
Did
dirt
you ever hear
don't
that?
hurt. Ass right. So the transportation of those minerals into the body is critical. So believe it or not, I mean, good municipality water, and let's face it, it's kind of funky. So if it's filtered, it tastes a lot better.
Yeah,
you know?
But too filtered. Which,
and that's the reverse osmosis. You've got to add stuff back to it, because if not, you end up stuff like with Penta. And I love Penta. We talked about Penta before. Yeah. And remember that those water molecules cluster in like 10 molecules. It's hard to absorb. Well, when you drink Penta, it just absorbs so fast because it's only 5. It's half the amount. But at the same time, there's no minerals, so it goes right through you. It does hydrate, but also causes you to urinate very quickly too.
So I need more. Okay, because that's kind of what I drink. I just drink a lot of Penta water all the time.
Penta's amazing.
Yeah, it's my favorite. But I probably should mix it up a little bit.
The taste is amazing too.
It tastes amazing.
It does taste amazing. Well, eat plenty of fruits and vegetables and eat good, nutritious food, and you're going to get the dirt that way. So,
okay, perfect.
Yeah, drink Penta and eat dirt.
You're like, just drink dirt.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for coming on, Jessica.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. It's always great to have you.
Same here.
Appreciate all your input and all the work that you help us at Clark's too.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys for joining us today on our Mission Nutrition podcast, the official Clark's Nutrition and Natural Foods Market podcast. We've got another exciting episode for you next week, so be sure to review, subscribe, follow us, and stay connected.
Absolutely. Be part of it. We've got so much we're going to share with you. It's going to be an amazing ride.
We'll see you next time.